that's, I don't know. Yeah, good, good. Thanks. I've been told you just broke the spirit. Well, that's fantastic. I had see this.
Bag. I'll pick him up.
Are you coming back? No, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah. See, I'm nice too. I'm commentating futsal now. How are you?
It's too fast. And also, because I only done the hospital. They asked me like 2 months ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's so good. It's so nice to have a commentator. We've never walked up to
short.
Sorry?
You want your jacket after the walkout? It's going to be cold.
Mine is blue.
Yeah, that's okay. Unless you want, I've got a spare one. Have you got?
Thank you.
Trust me, you'll have it. Turn around.
Thank you. You can put it on. You can put it on.
Are you going to put this off for a walkout?
No, just put it down.
That is not me.
Yeah.
I'll just break.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. Take charge.
That is not me.
Your keepers, Caitlin and Hannah, is that right?
Yeah. Caitlin and it's I'm not going to give you my full name or else you'll butcher it like every other
No
commentator.
problem. No problem. Okay.
Yeah, now.
Callum. I don't feel like being loud, so I'm not going to compete with the music. Everyone, if you're joining us on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel for the first time today, welcome. And if you're backing up after the first Women's Winter Futsal League semi-final between Mascot and UTS, welcome back. But it's Eric Subihano here with a commentary from the Valentine Sports Park Futsal Court for the second versus third semi-final in the 2025 Women's Winter Futsal League. It is Mountain Majik versus Enfield Allstars. Mountain Majik in the lime green, Enfield in the majority yellow jerseys. And we are set for another fascinating game of futsal here in Glenwood. Congratulations to Mascot Vipers. They're the first team into the final, which will be held next weekend after a 7-0 win over UTS. And now it's time to decide the other finalist in this competition. I think we've got just enough time to go through the squads. As a lot of you will know, rolling subs in futsal, or ice hockey style subs as I like to call them. So starting lineups not really a thing I think I want to highlight too much. Let's talk about the whole squads. But anyway, first up for Mountain Majik. Number 1's Kira Schwerb. Number 7, Chloe Gordon. Number 8, Gemma Morgan. Number 15, Angelina Zeiter. Number 19, Amelia Croft. Number 20, Bethany Gordon. Number 24, Claire Holder. Number 26, Talia Mearns. Number 27, Sage Mellum. Number 28, Jaquili Hook. Number 29, Indigo Mellum. And number 48 is Monique Holder. Mountain Majik coached by Nicholas Verdos. for the Sydney Allstars, formerly known as the Enfield Allstars. Number 1 is Caitlin Britton. Number 2, Ellie Alexander. Number 7, Carla Abu Haidar. Number 8, Sarah Moore. Number 6 is Antonia Sharp. Then number 11, Mackenzie Bradstock. Number 16, Hannah Spannenberg. And number 25 is Grace Treganza. Right on cue, there's the whistle. Away we go. I will do my best to keep you updated with time updates as best I can. Unfortunately, the 1 clock in the venues, I'm sitting behind it, but thank you to the refs anyway for setting up this wonderful position to feel like almost like I'm a part of the action as Bethany Gordon passes to Claire Holder, and Holder scoops one over and out. Now Alexander and Abu Haidar couldn't find Alexander with the return ball, but All-Stars looking for Ellie Alexander, and expect that to happen a lot in this game. She's their top scorer for the season, 12 goals so far. Sarah Moore is the All-Stars' second highest scorer, by the way, with 8. Fired up to Monique Holder for Alexander, plays it to Moore. So anyway, Mountain Magic, as that's given away, I'll get back to that. Here's a shot, and it touches off Abu Haidar, and it's Spannenberg who picks up the ball. So All-Stars on the move. Alexander eased away from the ball. Now Claire Holder might have an early chance. Monique Holder in the center as well. Claire Holder trying to go all the way through, and Spannenberg, excellent save, denying Claire Holder from a tight angle. And we're going to be saying the name Holder a lot, I feel, in this game, as the Holder sisters, Magic's 2 highest scorers for this season. Claire has 11 and Monique has 10. Now Bethany Gordon. Now, if you're a really committed watcher of the Football New South Wales YouTube channel, I know what you... And you've been watching a few streams today. I know what you're already thinking, but we'll get back to that. It is Gordon. Picked up by Spannenberg, but yeah, I noticed a couple of my friends are thinking, wait a minute, Bethany Gordon just played 90 minutes for Spirit FC in the 0-0 draw in NPL Women's against Gladesville Ravens that was at the Arctic Circle. But yes, we love the dedication of futsal here, and Bethany more than happy to play a second game. And now Bethany, after playing for a team in yellow jerseys, is now flipping it around and playing against the team in yellow. Also, can I say, because it is July, it's good to see yellow jerseys in July. A reminder that the Tour de France is about to start. Green jerseys as well, actually. Monique Holder. Back to Claire Holder. Gordon. There's Monique Holder playing it back. Little flick. And Bethany Gordon will win the kick in. Now, so it's the back heel from Monique Holder, but it's picked up by Spannenberg, and then Bradstock plays it out under the pressure from Jakili Hook. By the way, the match officials for today, Harriet G, Siobhan Gregory, Tamim Hussain, Tim Turner, and Dion Bradley. As Monique Holder in the target role. And Monique Holder looking for Claire Holder. Good save from Spannenberg. So it runs out to Carla Abu Haidar. By the way, shout out to all the real ones out there who remember when Carla Abu Haidar, before she was married, when she was known as Carla Kanini. Good to get the obscure reference out of the way. Although, to be honest, I reckon it's just myself and Justin Davies, longtime League One women's reporter, who remember that. And we'll respect her married name, so Abu Haidar as the pass, which is given away. Monique Holder on a run. Stopped by Bradstock. Now Sarah Moore and Jakili Hook. And a good tackle, and gets the encouragement for the Mountain Magic keeper, Kira Schwer. forward to Moore. And Moore loses out, so quick feed from Bethany Gordon, and her sister Chloe, also on the team sheet today for Mountain Magic. Now Sarah Moore plays it across the box, and Ellie Alexander with a great position at the far post. Couldn't take advantage, but smart work from Sarah Moore there. We had UNSW players excelling in the first game. That was the UNSW trio of Mario Mostagimi, Trudy Camilleri, and Marcela Santos, helping Mascot to that winning the first semi-final of the UTS. More brilliance from someone who has also played for UNSW, that being Sarah Moore. Now, you see Enfield have interchanged to get Grace Chotraganza in the number 25 onto the field as Kira Schwerb clears the ball straight into the Magic bench. Now Moore. And Moore with the left foot. Claire Holder in a good position, and look at the skill inside the circle. And then finding Gordon. As I listen in to our timekeeper, we've had 5 minutes of this first half. Goalless between Mountain Magic and Sydney All-Stars, as Shawerab with a clean tackle well outside of the circle. And Alexander's down in back play, but Magic go on with Claire Holder. And Abu Haidar plays it out, and we're going to have a stoppage to check on Ellie Alexander. And it's good to see the sporting behaviour from Schwerb as well. No intent there, but it was a clean tackle. A bit of a heavy tumble for Alexander, but good to see she's okay to continue. And Gemma Morgan coming on. And one of, it was Monique Holder coming off, but yes, as always, the challenge of calling futsal, unlimited interchange. And changes that can happen with the balls in play. That's good as a commentator to have a new challenge, take up a new challenge from time to time. Now, Abu Haidar has been busy early on with the intercept, looking for the pass, and Schwerb once again right to the edge of the circle. Moore back to Abu Haidar, and it's given away. Claire Holder has a runner. It's Zeiter, Angelina Zeiter, the number 15, on for the first time tonight, but eased away from it by Alexander. Quick feed as well. So Moore. Chotraganza. Across the court. Back to Alexander, but she's let it run over the touchline. By the way, I think I almost forgot to say this in the intro. No, actually, All-Stars coached by Carlos Barriga. So I'm glad he corrected that in the team sheet just before play started, because there was a different name written in, but I'm grateful to Carlos for doing that. As Claire Holder plays forward. Morgan can't take on the pass, and so it's the All-Stars. As I think I referenced in the first game, Sydney All-Stars, formerly known as Enfield All-Stars. I am actually hesitating as there's a first touch in this game for Antonia Sharp. I am slightly hesitating. Trust me, to all the All-Stars folk, I'm really trying not to say Enfield. But anyway, here's Magic with a chance. Morgan scores. It's a quick opener for Mountain Magic. And it's Gemma Morgan with her 4th goal of the season. And Mountain Magic taking an early advantage. And this semi-final, a left-footed finish swept into the top corner, out of Hannah Spannenberg's reach. And it is the team in green that draw first blood. Now Alexander, little spin, back to Sharp, and Sharp shoots. It goes wide. And about 7 minutes played in this one. Here's Morgan. Now, Infield bench is sensing a chance to press. And Holder dinks it past Alexander, but it's Sharp who can't find Alexander with the pass. Morgan, persistent, gets past the challenger Moore. And Morgan, oh, that's unfortunate. But now Alexander with a chance and possibly a 2-on-1 for the All-Stars. That's a great tackle from Claire Holder. Chance for Majik now. Holder. And Sharp goes safety first and kicks it into the fence. 12 minutes left in this opening period. Gemma Morgan's strike is what separates the two teams. Mountain Majik leading by a goal to nil over Sydney All-Stars. And here is Gemma Morgan on the ball. Little fake. Then intercept from Moore. 3 forward for All-Stars in this attack. Moore disguises the pass. Chotraganza. Tackles rule clean. And Sharp. And it was sharp work there from Antonia, preventing Claire Holder from turning. Claire Holder, not just Magic's top scorer, has a player of the year award in the summer comp, the Futsal Premier League. She has won that award in the past. She has won the Golden Boot in that competition as well. As Morgan shoots and Spandenberg stops. So, I'm sure All-Stars will be well aware that they need to stop Claire Holder wherever possible. As Chotraganza. And we see Amelia Croft, number 19, is on the court for Majik. As there's a run from Moore, and Sarah Moore, a little dink after gliding past two players. Schwerb comes out, closes down the ankle. In fact, she must have made a save because it's going to be a corner, so that is a great save from Kira Schwerb. Now back to Moore, and Moore sends it across the face of goal. Now, I think there might have been something in back play that the refs want to keep on top of. And the play out from the back, disrupted by the All-Stars. Sharp loses out. Now, as Zaita comes off, so Monique Holder can come back on. Just realised the presence in this matchday squad of one Amelia Croft. Call Mountain Majik. I'll expand on this later. She does have a name very, very similar to a Mountain Majik Futsal Club legend. In fact, I'll say it now. I'm, of course, referring to Ashley Crofts, who, to my knowledge, is the only woman to win a Golden Boot in both the Summer Futsal Premier League and in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. The real ones remember Ashley Crofts playing for Mountain Majik. And as Claire Holder tries to play it through, Monique Holder couldn't reel it in as it's cleared over the sideline. Way to complete that thought on my good friend Ashley Crofts, one of the recently reached 100 goals across NPL New South Wales Women's First Grade and the Sapphire Cup. And I believe she'll be in action tomorrow when RPL Leichhardt are playing in the NPL Women's Comp when they're away to Western Sydney Wanderers. Now Sharp to Bradstock. And more, nice little back heel. So Bradstock down the left. Tackle from Claire Holder. 10 minutes played in the first half here. Now, Bradstock. Bradstock shoots and a little deflection off Holder. And takes a tumble, but Schwerb able to catch the ball comfortably. Little give and go. And here's Gemma Morgan. Shoots right-footed and scores. So Majik double their advantage. We're only halfway through the first half. That's a tidy finish to make it 2-0 to Majik over the All-Stars. Once again, Gemma Morgan displaying that she's got two good feet. The first one, the finish with the right foot. Gemma Morgan with her right foot this time, a low finish. And Man Majik off to a great start and with a healthy lead at this early stage of proceedings. That go well run through to Schwerb. As I test the memory here. Trying to remember who Gemma Morgan plays for an outdoor. Might quickly message League One Women's reporter Justin Davies. I think it's the PNFC. Anyway, we'll get back to that as more. Takes on Claire Holder and runs it out of the court. Majik looking to build out from the back. Bradstock marshalling the ball, letting it run out. There goes. Now, there will be a timeout soon as Chocho Granza intercepts it. I think Jakili Hook was the target of that pass. Now the All-Stars take it the other way with Alexander. Alexander on the right foot. And it's a good block from Hook, protecting her goalkeeper. Chocho Granza for Bradstock. And it's broken up as Bethany Gordon back on the court. I'd say, as I said earlier, Bethany Gordon has already played 90 minutes for Spirit today in NPL Women's. I envy anyone with this kind of energy that Bethany is displaying. But Gordon is on the ball right now, looking for Monique Holder, and then it goes out. And it's going to be Mountain Majik timeout. So, to recap the action so far in the first half here of this Women's Winter Futsal League semi-final between Mountain Majik and Sydney All-Stars, and the team in green, Mountain Majik, off into a 2-goal lead, a double from Gemma Morgan. But that hasn't stopped. Majik from calling a timeout. So now it's time for the two coaches, Nicolas Verdos for Majik and Carlos Barriga for All-Stars, to impart their wisdom to their players based on what they've seen so far. Well, we have this briefest of breaks. Might just plug the coverage. Oh, some of the women's streams you can watch on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel tomorrow. So there's 5 NPL women's games you can watch here. The same way you're watching this one, starting at 3 p.m. Newcastle Jets playing Macarthur Rams at Lake Macquarie with our Maltese friend Ashley Borg on the commentary. There's 3 women's games at 3 outdoor women's games at 5 p.m. as there's 8 minutes to go in this opening period. The most important of those 5 p.m. NPL women's kickoffs tomorrow is, of course, the game that I'm calling at Sydney University Football Ground, with Sydney Uni hosting Bulls FC Academy. And there's other action spread out through the day, as that's intercepted by Abu Haidar, and now left for Bradstock. Now, Bradstock was the target. It's shepherded out by Claire Holder. Enfield play it out from back. One of those other NPL women's streams you can watch 5 p.m. tomorrow. Mount Druitt versus University of New South Wales, called by the Serbian Martin Tyler, Nikola Pozda. Actually, in honor of one of the mascot players we saw in the first semi-final, you could call that the Trudy Camilleri Cup. Now throw out from Schwerb. And Nicola might have got it accidental hand to the face or something, but we'll go on with Jakili Hook. Now Monique Holder runs into an All-Stars cul-de-sac, but it will be a magic ball. So Bethany Gordon back to Claire Holder. Now, room for Alexander. And Alexander scores! So, All-Stars on the board. They've halved the deficit. What a strong run from Ellie Alexander. Despite a little bit of a jersey tug, strong enough to finish. The team in yellow on the board for Ellie Alexander. 13 for the season. And we're only into the 11th week. So, Ellie Alexander continuing to excel. And Moore has options wide. Alexander again. Shoots, and it's not held by Schwerb. Loose ball to Abu Haidar. There's too many magic plays in the way. And Moore back to Spannenberg. Oh, there we go. Gotta love futsal. I just got a touch of the ball. That doesn't happen when you call outdoor. And to be honest, given most of the outdoor commentary positions, you don't want the ball to go anywhere near you. Here's Alexander for the All-Stars. Booted into the net, protecting the spectators by Claire Holder. Moore keeps it moving. Abu Haidar. Now, Magic sitting deep. Sharp. Can't pick the pass. And Claire Holder's got some room. Zaiter, there was the option in the middle, but Sharp was patient and timed the tackle well. Now, the shot coming in from Hook. Second attempt. Looking to find Zaiter, who's forced backwards. Gordon gets the touch. And Magic keep the ball. Now they try the near side. Hook. Now Bethany Gordon and zinged one in just out of reach of Angelina Zaiter. There are a little bit over 5 minutes to play in the opening period. It's good when they set you up within so you can hear the timekeeper. And the shot comes in, parried by Spannenberg, and she doesn't let the rebound go out of the circle. Alexander steps past the challenge. Oh, and Alexander nearly found some room in opposition territory. Instead, it's Bethany Gordon for the Magic. And then given away, so 2-on-2 possibly for All-Stars. Sarah Moore keeps it in. Lovely Maradona spin. Now finds Alexander, blocked from Claire Holder. Alexander actually fought off two plays to get a second shot away. That one was parried well by Schwerb. Thank you to Justin Davies. Confirmation that, yes, Gemma Morgan is one of our beloved League One women's superstars. She does play for the PNFC. Now, Sarah Moore. Blocked by two Magic players. Gets it back. And Alexander. Tries the pass. What a pass to Antonia Sharp, and that was unlucky from an All-Stars perspective. Brilliant vision from Alexander. Sharp sneaking in behind, which you might call a backdoor cut. And she lunged and shoots just wide. Now Morgan on a hat-trick, of course. But it's given away to Sharp. And Sharp shoots from range. There's a little deflection, which has wrong-footed Schwer, but also loops the ball over the bar for a corner. Let's cut back. There's Majik step up. Here's Abu Haidar to Moore. Alexander. And stopped neatly by Gordon. Free kick. I think it's the first foul of the first half committed by either side. As Alexander a bit too quick for a direct opponent there. Just to go on one of my famous commentary tangents, I'm thinking, how many teams have I seen Bethany Gordon play for across outdoor and futsal? So, off the top of my... It's like, as in actually been at the venue, because I do know definitely Canberra United, Western Sydney Wanderers, MacArthur Rams, Blacktown Spartans, Northwest Sydney Spirit, that's 5. Mount Magic, yes. Pretty sure she's played for Harcola at some point. In futsal as well. Anyway, I'll get back to you as All-Stars are back underway. And Magic once again sitting deep with the 2-1 lead, but All-Stars pressing in the outside of the foot shot. A nice curve on it. The curve ends up taking it just past the far post, but once again Alexander looking threatening. And there's a sharp turn by Alexander. And she saw the opportunity. She wasn't too far away. Enfield bench encouraging the All-Stars bench encouraging their team to press. There's a quick win back. Good period of the game this for Sydney All-Stars. And Alexander beats a challenge from a tight angle. It's parried by Schwer. And it's out off the All-Stars. Now, they've won it back again, and the shot is saved by Schwerb. Alexander pulls the trigger, and it's good goalkeeping from Kira Schwerb to move out quickly and close down the angle. Now, laid off, Bradstock, another save from Schwerb, another corner. Laid off, and Bradstock tries again. It's blocked by Bethany Gordon. Now, there's a touch and on the field, Talia Mearns, and the number 26 for Magic. Monique Holder wins the kick in off Abu Haidar. 2 minutes remaining in the opening period. Actually, I believe Enfield have not used a lot of time out for the first half yet. So we'll see if that happens. And yes, Magic leading All-Stars by 2-1. Magic leading courtesy of a double from Gemma Morgan. The All-Stars goal coming from Ellie Alexander. The game is finally poised to see which of these teams will play Mascot Vipers in next weekend's Women's Winter Futsal League final. Bradstock can't reel it in. So 2 minutes. I mean, in one sense, not a lot of time, but in a futsal sense, plenty of time to create a chance, actually. Plenty of time for both sides to create multiple chances. As Holder lets it slip, but then wins it back and prevents Alexander from making any more forward progress. Now, that's Churchuganza on the far side near the spectators. Back to Abu Haidar. Alexander. And Alexander working space for the shot, and it has ended up going wide from Bradstock, I thought. Well, it's wide courtesy of Amelia Crofts. At least maybe the touch didn't come off cross, but at least he's done enough to put Bradstock off. Again, Alexander with the shot that's squeezed through Kira Schwerb somehow, but Majik have survived, and Monique Holder can't get past Kala Abu Haidar. Now, they've worked its way to Chotraganza. Bradstock in support. Bradstock. Now it does make its way to Alexander. The shot is blocked. I think that was Claire Holder in the way. And fascinating end to this first half. Majik holding on to this 1-goal lead. About 60 seconds left in the opening period. Now, Alexander breezing past a challenge on the left side. Bradstock into the circle, and Claire Holder again, lovely footwork. But then, a pass slightly behind her sister. Enfield making one last push to try and equalise before half-time. So did I call him Enfield again? I'm sorry, everyone. All-Stars. Sydney All. I'll just call them All-Stars just to be safe. Played forward, Chotraganza turns it forward, and then Schwerb didn't want to take a risk with using the gloves, just clears it into safety. Enfield really raising the tempo in the closing stages of the first half. Again, that's cleared, and that's over the net. So thank you to that kind spectator who's retrieving the ball. Abu Haidar, and not held, but Monique Holder plays it to safety. And Spannenberg gets us back underway. In fact, there's in the dying stages here. Bradstock couldn't make it stick, and there's the end of what has been an entertaining first half. It is Mountain Majik leading Sydney All-Stars by 2-1, but All-Stars have threatened plenty in the opening 20 minutes, and this game is far from done. It was Gemma Morgan who scored twice to put the Majik into a 2-goal lead. Alexander pulled the goal back for All-Stars before half-time. That's her 13th of the season, and that's how we got to where we are. Eric Subihano with the commentary for the second Women's Winter Futsal League semi-final from Valentine Sports Park. We'll take a short break, a little bit over 5 minutes, then we'll be back for the second half. And welcome back to our coverage of the second Women's Winter Futsal League semi-final for 2025. Eric Subihan here with the commentary from Valentine Sports Park. Mount Majik in the green, currently leading Sydney Allstars by 2-1. And it is Majik moving it left to Bethany Gordon, and Gordon, a hand up in apology. I think that maybe Amelia Croft on the far side. Yes, it was. Anyway, while these two on the court, probably the best time to make this observation. Bethany Gordon and Monique Holder playing for Mount Majik. It's just like 2019 all over again. As Moore sends one over under pressure from the keeper, Kira Schwerb. Touch up. Feel like that took a touch up All-Stars. Indeed it did. Monique Holder knew she could just leave it. Holder up against two All-Stars. Again, draws the touch of All-Stars and wants to make sure they're back 5 meters as well. Plays across to Amelia Croft. Gordon can't quite keep it alive. The ball will remain with the Majik. Now Abu Haidar in the way, and the Church-Uganza almost got past Claire Holder. So Gordon denied by Church-Uganza there. And Holder booms one in. Can't add to a tally of 10 goals for the season. And a little scoop pass which lands at Monique Holder's feet. Croft. And Holder with the shot, which is blocked by Abu Haidar. And positive start from the team with the lead, Mount Majik. And it's always fascinating as Church-Uganza trying to lead a 2-on-2, slowed down by Bethany Gordon. And then the ball goes out of play, but a strong defending there from Gordon. Church-Uganza looking to make a dangerous run. And yes, I mean, not I'm going to divulge what I heard. It is always interesting hearing what the coaches say at halftime. As Alexander's passed the challenge, Schwerb strong at the near post and decides for the two-hand push out for a corner. Now Abu Haidar doesn't get the ball into the circle. Now Gordon can't play the pass, so through the keeper it goes. Now 2 minutes into the second half, with Majik leading the All-Stars by 2-1. I just had to check. Yes, another keeper swap at halftime after we saw both teams make a keeper swap in the first semi-final between Mascot and UTS. But for the All-Stars, it is Caitlin Britton is now in goal, replacing Hannah Spannenberg, who was the first half goalkeeper. Now, intercepted by Claire Holder. And she goes right before shooting, but Alexander stuck to the defensive task. Plays it out for a corner. Now Bethany Gordon and can't quite get it through the crowd. And so Abu Haidar plays it into the All-Stars bench. And it's the second half still very much in its infancy, but this is kind of the pattern we've seen with Majik doing all the probing as the ball goes out of their grasp. Now Well, apologies. As that's given away, and Claire Holder with a thunderous right-footed shot off the restart. And ball too hot for Caitlin Britton to handle. Claire Holder makes it 3-1 to Majik. And there's more Claire Holder goal scoring heroics as Gordon tries to run it through, and it's picked up by Britton. If you're a frequent watcher of NPL New South Wales socials, you'll remember Claire Holder's free kick. And she's on the move again. That goes wide. You might remember Claire Holder's free kick for Mount Druitt Town Rangers against RPL Leichhardt earlier this season. And one of the best shooters in the competition, well, one of the best shooters in the state, whether that be indoor or outdoor, has done it again for Majik. Now, Croft putting the pressure on. And then it's Morgan, in fact, who's done well to win the ball back for Majik. So Buhaider just plays it forward just so allowing the All-Stars to step up, but now, once again, they find themselves with a 2-goal cushion. Oh, sorry, with a 2-goal deficit to overcome. There's a Buhaider, the foot in there. Claire Holder doing it well to recycle for Majik. Morgan down the line. Croft stands one up, but only finds Sarah Moore. Now All-Stars, they're into Majik territory. Could this be the chance? More shoots. Good save from Schwerb. Alexander lets it run out. Now, again parried by Schwerb as All-Stars probing and trying to halve the deficit. Moore, double mark there. And it's good defending from Majik, but it is the All-Star still with the ball. Alexander, and that's another good save from Schwerb. Off the line to close down the angle. So it's played back to Bradstock. And Buhaider can't link up with Sarah Moore. Just 15 minutes left in this game. And Majik leading by 3-1. Croft spins around looking for options. Back to Morgan. These 2 goals look to be a lot of the reason that Majik are heading towards a win, but 15 minutes, plenty of time left in futsal, so there's a lot of time for All-Stars to change things. Alexander leads the press. Majik trying to play around her. Morgan now. And then just Morgan passed one way while Croft was going the other way. And a little win for the All-Stars. But then they can't get out of their own half. And it's Majik making the changes. As Holder double marked. Does find a teammate. Morgan into the circle, and it was in the net. think from Jakeely Hook it was, but the rule is that the decision is that the ball had gone out first. Score stays at 3-1, and Alexander gives it away to Claire Holder. Holder, good footwork, has one teammate forward. So that's brilliant work. Look at that, and almost at the end. And Jakeely Hook was waiting patiently for the ball, but it didn't end up going her way. The throw in from Britain, not finding anyone. The restart finds Majik Futsal. That's a nice ball. Jakeely Hook, and it's in off the post. And it's 4-1 to Mountain Magic. Great team goal going from back to front. The slide rule pass from Majik Futsal. And the finish from Jakeely Hook, who now has 5 for the season. And well, the team finished second in the regular season. Mountain Magic looking very strong at this point, leading by 4-1. So at this stage, can still change. It does look like we're going to have a battle of the top two in the Winter Futsal League Grand Final between Mascot, who defeated UTS in the first semi-final, between Mascot and Mountain Magic. And now, 2-on-1 possibly. The Holder sisters are at it again. And that was defended well by the Allstars. But then Morgan tries to recycle. She can't. Here's Antonia Sharp. Goes wide. Alexander scores. They pulled one back. That is a tidy finish from Alexander. And the win right on halfway from Antonia Sharp is what opened it up. Alexander was in space, and it is a confident finish. So Alexander, the All-Stars number 2, has 2 for this evening, has 14 in total for the season. And then they've won it back. This one's far from over. Alexander 1-on-1 with Claire Holder. Free kick. It's going to be a card as well. Claire Holder's into the book. All-Star set piece. This could be a big moment in this game. All-Stars responded well to going down 4-1. Immediately making it 4-2. There's a bit of a collision between Bradstock and the goalpost. And Antonia Sharp contemplates what she'll do with this dead ball. Siobhan Gregory having a chat to Bradstock and possibly Jakeely Hook, one of the other players. So does she go direct for goal, or have All-Stars cooked up something a little bit different? We're about to find out. And Sharp kept it low. It's off Majik Futsal, I think. So it's going to be a corner. Again, Sharp has to go. Saved by Schwerb. Chotraganza keeps it alive for the All-Stars. Bradstock. Chotraganza. They go back to start again with Sharp. Alexander, just like Gemma Morgan, she's on a hat-trick now. Can't quite reel in the return pass from Bradstock. And Majik Futsal will try to run it out. Chotraganza stops it. Yep. Holder played past the defender, but it's played forward by Caitlin Britton, All-Stars keeper, who's also potentially started an All-Stars move. Sharp again. And then that's hit by Jakili Hook, and once again, something to tick off the Valentine Sports Park futsal bingo card. The ball into the net above halfway, so we'll restart with an All-Stars kick in. Sharp. Chochuganza gets away from two players momentarily. Alexander finds Bradstock. Bradstock across the court. Chochuganza trying to find room for a shot. Majik staying disciplined in defense. And then Jakili Hook bombing the ball out on the other side of the field. And great footwork from Monique Holder, and has an option. Does get to, I think that's Angelina Zaito, far side. Monique Holder gets there ahead of Sharp. Forced backwards. The nutmeg pass doesn't work out, but Majik now in possession. And the ball forward, intercepted by Alexander. Alexander again, and she does get the shot away, so it's another good save from Schwerb. Alexander once again doing the threatening for All-Stars. It's 4-2 to Mount Majik over Sydney All-Stars. Majik goals, a double from Gemma Morgan, and in fact Monique Holder with a swing gets a foot underneath the ball, so that's going to go back to a restart with the All-Stars keeper. But yes, those 4 Majik goals, a double for Gemma Morgan. The other one's coming from Claire Holder and Jakili Hook. As it's a good first touch from Sarah Moore. She's on her own. Settles for the kick in on the right side. By the way, the All-Stars goals in this game, a double from Ellie Alexander. Moore shoots and takes a touch. We're halfway through the second half, 10 minutes remaining. Hook, now Zaito. Majik trying to rotate and draw plays out of position. It was an interesting idea. Zaito made a run into the circle, as Alexander might have let that run. And yes. We restart with a Majik throw. Oh, sorry, not a throw-in. What am I talking about? Gordon, the restart, and then shirt tug by Amelia Croft. I think it's, as of yet, although there's still a fair bit of time left in this one. I think it's 1 foul apiece for both sides. About 9 minutes left. Alexander and Bradstock will possibly pass slightly behind her, and the ball runs away. And well, some infringement there, so All-Stars will get the ball back deep into Majik territory. There's the chance for All-Stars. That Majik line up there, staying compact. Can All-Stars find a way through? Moore. Fake. Down the touchline. Still with the All-Stars. Bradstock shoots, and it takes a deflection. Finish from Alexander, who hits the post. She nearly had a hat-trick. Alexander pulled off to the far side, looking for any scraps. He was so close to pulling it back to 4-3. As Gordon turns, and then it's Abu Haidar with the tackle. Now the 1-2. Then Bethany Gordon shoots. Did he take a touch of Britain? It did not. Moore. And Moore looks up, has an option in the middle. It was Chotragansa. Majik don't let the ball get to her. And there's a card to Bethany Gordon, I think, for what the laws of the game say, dissent by word or action. It's up to Chotragansa. One back by Bethany Gordon. It's Gordon again to Claire Holder, and Holder quite wrapped the outside of a boot around it enough to find Zaito. All Stars can't make any forward progress. As Buhaida gets the foot in there. Chotragansa with a lovely dink over Schwerb. It's 4-3 now. And Carla Buhaida, who's been strong in defense for the All-Stars tonight. And that's 7 minutes left, I think. Possibly a little bit more. That is a lovely finish from Chotragansa. What a time to score. Actually, no, that's a hold that thought as Monique Holder gets one back straight away. And there we go. The goal's beginning to fly in. Monique Holder through the legs of the keeper. A bit unfortunate for Caitlin Britton, but despite the tight angle, Monique Holder making it 5-3. And that, shall we say, that little personal goal-scoring battle between the Holder sisters continues. As Monique now has 11 for the season, Claire has 12. And here's Gemma Morgan, stopped by Abu Haidar. Great tackle there, and the shot from Amelia Croft. They say claiming a touch from Caitlin Britton. Refs agree. And the corner comes in, and Abu Haidar looks to see her options. Chotragansa eased away from it by Gordon. Monique Holder at wide, and Millie Croft, that's too much of a chase for her. By the way, that point I was about to make before Monique Holder scored to make it 5-3 to Majik. Yes, Grace Chotragansa of All Stars now has 7 for the season. Alexander pointing the instructions. Chotragansa into space, but can't reel it in, and timeout to Mountain Majik. And with, as I take a little step forward to see exactly how much time is left, 6 minutes and 48 seconds left in the second half. Mountain Majik leading by 5-3 over Sydney All-Stars. A high-scoring semi-final in the second of these games to see who will make the grand final, which will be held next weekend here at the futsal court at Valentine Sports Park. Just briefly while we have a break. That's promotion of streams coming up for the games I haven't said yet in this one. So one of the 5 p.m. kickoffs tomorrow in NPL Women's, which you can watch on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. It's also, it's not too far away from here, a little trip down the M7, but at Wanderers Football Park, Western Sydney Wanderers hosting RPL Leichhardt. And then at 5:30 p.m. there's a game here at Valentine Sports Park, on the synthetic field, field number 2, Sydney Olympic hosting Illawarra Stingrays, and the Professor, Melissa Muscat, will be calling that one for you 5:30 p.m. tomorrow. A game that will feature 2 of the players, in fact, that we score in the first semi-final, Alexia Carastal and Brianna Edwards. Monique Holder makes it stick, and there's a runner in beyond, but Holder will go herself and stopped by Moore. Now, another chance maybe on that left foot. I think the standing foot just gave way. And now Bethany Gordon, but overcooks the pass, but Monique Holder had pulled into space. Does Majik sit off for now? Once again, as they have for a lot of this game, All-Stars faced with a 2-goal deficit. Still enough time, definitely for them to make it interesting. The job is far from done for Majik. Now, it's up, and Britain will get us, will keep it moving. And now, great win. Monique Holder read the intentions, shoots left-footed, and deflected wide. By the way, my obligatory League One Women's shout-out for this particular game. I guess I'm reminded, Monique Holder this season playing outdoor with Hills United, who are having a great season in League One Women's. As there's the save from Britain there. Hills United currently leading the women's outdoor second tier. Now, Holder, and the shot. It was Morgan, who was stopped by a great save, and now there is a free player on the left side. Here's Sarah Moore. Moore with the dig, and has that crossed the line? Yes, it has. So it's 5-4. And that was brilliant finesse on the finish to cap off that All-Stars counter-attack. There's about 5 minutes left here. 5-4 to Majik. And Sarah Moore floated the ball over Schwerb excellently. And Moore now on 9 goals for the season. And it does look like we are going to have that grandstand finish. Abu Haidar shoots, blocked. Claire Holder runs ahead of the ball. Monique Holder finds her sister, and then it's a rare loose touch from Claire Holder. Good patient defending from Gemma Morgan. Now there is pretty much 5 minutes left in this one. As this runs out. And in fact, it is Hannah. I just see Hannah Spannenberg back on the court now in goal for All-Stars. It's a strong tackle from Gordon. I do remind me, whenever I've called futsal games for Football New South Wales, I've always called them in pairs, back-to-back, just like this one. And it's always about this time with the second game I call. As Jakili Hook and Monique Holder, the touch went backwards. Now Claire Holder gets one past one, but not the second player. But yes, it's always, when I call futsal games back-to-back, it's about this time in the second game that I wish I had a throat lozenge and sponsorship. As Claire Holder holds the ball up well and then remains patient. Waits for her players to make their way forward. Now Gordon. Hook. And can't get it back from Claire Holder. It's going to be a timeout, so that's timeout called by All-Stars. That's their timeout for this half. And we'll take another bit of a break. About 4 minutes left. And no team any chance of getting over the maximum of 5 fouls. I think the foul count both fouls in this half committed by Majik. Time for the coaches give their instructions, use their wisdom to their team's advantage. You can see the magnetic boards are out, and a place in the final hangs in the balance. So I'll use this break. This might be one last reminder of the women's streams we've got coming up tomorrow on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. 5 of them starting at 3 p.m. tomorrow. The Jets versus MacArthur. There's 3 games at 5 p.m. I'll be calling Sydney Uni versus Bulls. There's also Mount Druitt versus UNSW and Western Sydney Wanderers versus Apia. Then at 5:30 p.m., a short walk away from here, Sydney Olympic hosting Illawarra Stingrays. So plenty of women's football for you to choose from tomorrow afternoon, as is always the case during the winter season. But anyway, back to this fascinating futsal game. As Jaqueline Hook is defending against Sarah Moore, but now she's won the ball back. But now Abu Haidar anticipating. And then Claire Holder wins the touch of Abu Haidar. And of course, stop clock. As that ball might run through, and it just gets away from Zaiter at the end there. Spannenberg falling gratefully in the ball, giving it away. Bethany Gordon runs into Abu Haidar. But of course, the clock stopping every time the ball's out of play means no more time-wasting shenanigans. If you ever watched pre-COVID futsal in this state, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Zaiter moves it back. Hook. Now moved across. Gordon, left-footed, and I think... No, checking. No touch off Bradstock, so ball back with the All-Stars. Abu Haidar can't go past Zaiter. Holder, Claire Holder has room to turn, options either side. Shoots, good save from Spannenberg. And there's 3 minutes remaining. Hook, back to Claire Holder. Bethany Gordon and Claire Holder. Just a little bit of possession play, and then, ooh, Alexander close to the intercept there. Now, All-Stars, you need to press. Of course, the impetus is on them, being a goal down, to kind of try and use their initiative. And in fact, here we go. As Carlos Buric has decided it is now it's time to pull the keeper, and Antonia Sharp now in the different colour jersey to be the extra attacker. Yes, this one's going to be fun. All-Stars now with the overload. Can they use it to find what would be a dramatic equaliser? They haven't led at all in this game. Here's Alexander. Now Moore, and Moore hits the post. Sharp shoots. Might get another chance. Still keeps it alive. Sarah Moore. And Moore beats the challenge, but then lets the ball run over the line. How about that? And this has been credit to All-Stars no matter what the result. They were 2-0 down, 4-1 down, 5-3 down. They're still very much in this. Zaiter can't keep it in. In fact, it's going to be some frantic sprinting to the sideline, to the All-Stars bench and back. Spannenberg will be switching in to the All-Stars goal whenever Majik have the ball. But as we can see now, Sharp will be wearing the different colour jersey to be the extra attacker when All-Stars do have the ball. It only takes one shot. Here's Alexander. Here's the tackle. Sarah Moore now. And Moore shoots, and it's straight at Schwerb, who's going to try for the open goal, but Abu Haidar takes it down on the chest calmly. And there's Abu Haidar. Probing. There's 1 minute left, and Majik have won the ball back. So Hook moves it quickly, but then gives it away. Now Claire Holder. And this is Spannenberg back in goal for the Allstars. And the Allstars need this ball back and need it back quickly. Oh, Claire Holder could have had a chance to seal it, potentially, but we'll never know because she lets the ball run away from her. Sharp's back on the court. Alexander. Joe Treganza runs in beyond. Moore with the flick to Joe Treganza. 30 seconds left. Gordon goes for the open goal. Abu Haidar stops and keeps it away from Monique Holder. But then Gordon shoots again, and I think that's off Allstars. And the refs agree. About 20 seconds left. Bethany Gordon to get us back underway. And Monique Holder in the corner, gets it across the goal. Picked up by Spannenberg. Jakili Hook stops the counter attack. 11 seconds left. Sharp's back on the court. One last chance. Last chance saloon for the Allstars. Whatever they do, it's got to be quick. Sharp plays it off Gordon. Almost one last chance, one last set piece. Abu Haidar into the circle, and it's up and caught by Schwerb. And Schwerb just rolls it out, and that will be that. And a 9-goal thriller here at Valentine Sports Park ends with Mountain Majik defeating Sydney Allstars by 5-4 in the second Women's Winter Futsal League semi-finals. So Mountain Majik will play Mascot Vipers in next weekend's decider. It was a brilliant game, and for Mountain Majik, their goals were a double from Gemma Morgan, goals also from Claire Holder, Jakili Hook, and Monique Holder. While for the Allstars, Ellie Alexander scored a double. The other goals from Grace Cho Treganza and Sarah Moore to set up a grandstand finish at the end, but the team in green has prevailed. This is Eric Subihana here with the commentary. Thanks for your support of Football New South Wales Futsal and our YouTube channel. I've got 5 women's games in outdoor tomorrow for you, starting at 3 p.m. and running through to the early evening. And for the fans of for you fans out there of my commentary, I'll be calling the women's game at 5 p.m. in Camperdown between Sydney University and Bulls FC Academy. But it's time to sign off. So on behalf of Football New South Wales, today's camera operator Tim, our broadcast partners Sportscast, Eric Subihano signing off from Glenwood. Take care. Hope to see you soon. Please stay warm and dry. And we look forward to next weekend's final between Mascot Vipers and Mountain Majik. There's also the men's final tomorrow, which will be at this court, also on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel for your enjoyment. But take care. We'll see you soon.